Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at Tinkaton with the new move GIGATON HAMMER. Again, I know there hasn't been a lot of uploads on this channel, and this will still continue for quite a bit. It will get better eventually though. Yeah, I'm in my full-time job now, so things going to be a bit more difficult towards YouTube, and this is something that is going to be continuing for quite a bit still. But still, I'm enjoying doing videos. I hope I can do some more in the future as well. But there's only going to be a few uploads, maybe one a week for the foreseeable future. But again, in maybe a bit, it's going to be a little bit better. I have definitely some hopes towards it. But yeah, again, today we're going to take a look at Tinkaton. Usually I would be able to showcase it immediately after, but yeah, now family is definitely my priority, as well as, of course, having the job during the week is going to just take a little bit too much time for me to showcase Pokemon like this immediately. But today we're going to take a look at it one day after, which means also I have a little bit more experience with the Pokemon. I did play it a little bit in the Ultra League, and I can say something. People are here to counter it. People are prepared. People know on how strong this Pokemon is, and this is something that you have to keep in mind when a Pokemon like this appears for the first time. Everybody is going to try to counter it, and this is something that happens here quite a lot in the Open Ultra League, which I have experienced. I did quite a few sets with this Pokemon here, different teams as well. This was the team that I wanted to play the most, and so I gotta showcase it here as well. And by the way, you see GIGATON HAMMER here is absolutely fantastic. I thought, by the way, I had more energy on my Dusknoir, so that was a bit of a mistake here. They have Shadow Ball Earthquake on their Licky, which is so hilarious because you would never really run that with especially Earthquake right now. But it's there just to counter the Tinkaton. Everybody is prepared, everybody is running Pokemon with ground type coverage, which is kind of funny. So you see already the impact of this Pokemon without even seeing the Pokemon directly on the field. Of course, on our side it was on the field, but the meta is shifted. And I do think it's not like something that is, yeah, random here. That, for example, now a Shadow Charizard is elite there. This makes, like, it makes sense. Don't get me wrong. Like, Charizard is not a bad Pokemon at all. But the thing is here, like, you would very likely not seen that before the Tinkaton Community Day, because, yeah, this Pokemon is here mainly to counter Tinkaton. It's a very good counter to Tinkaton. Any kind of fire and flying type Pokemon is. But here we are going to be able to win this elite matchup with our Shadow Punch coming through. In comes the Malamar. We are going to be able to swap onto our Drapion. Drapion is our Say-Swap, and we will be able to win this battle because they forfeit. So off to a good start. And this was actually the first battle that I did with this team, which was hilarious because the main reason why I was like, okay, this team is going to be fine like this was I didn't really encounter a lot of ground type Pokemon generally, but I encountered a lot of Pokemon with ground type coverage. So like there were a lot of Pokemon that were actually very solid against Tinkaton that were not directly type-wise the strongest Pokemon. I faced something like Mystical Fire Drifblim, for example, now all of a sudden. I faced quite a lot of random Pokemon, like we saw the Earthquake Licky there already, Earthquake and Staff Boulders on the Zygarde. There were a lot of kind of changes which I felt like in the meta, they were all geared towards trying to counter Tinkaton. And this is kind of already showcasing on the impact of this Pokemon, because Tinkaton itself, yeah, has not been released for quite a while, but I feel like if people are over-preparing like this already, it just showcases how much people are scared of this Pokemon. And for good reason, because Tinkaton is going to be one of the best meta breakers in the current, like just current meta or just generally, because this Pokemon is going to be also absolutely fantastic in the Open Great League. It is going to have the best typing. It's the best possible typing in PvP, just generally. Fairy and Steel is such a good typing, but unlike the other Fairy and Steel type Pokemon, you actually have also a good moveset and a great bulk, and this is what changes basically everything. Yeah, basically we've seen already in the Master League dominating Zacian, Steel, Fairy, it's the same stuff there. Like you only have a few weaknesses, I think it's only 2 in Ground and Fire, and you have like, I think like 8 or 9 resistances, which is just ridiculous. Offensively, it's alright. It's not the strongest offensively. Offensively, like Pokemon that are like Fire type, Rock type, Ice type, they're all better offensive typings. But it's still okay. Like you're going to have access to, of course, Fairy type damage, which is going to be good against like Dragon types, against those Fighting type Pokemon. It's not really that bad. Steel typing itself is a pretty weak offensive type. And this is something that kind of balances the GIGATON HAMMER, because like quite a lot of Pokemon, like this for example, that does resist it. And yeah, Steel typing itself can only hit a certain amount of Pokemon, I think 3 different types, which is Ice, Fairy, as well as Rock, I'm fairly certain. And it is actually resisted by quite a lot of common types like other steel type Pokemon. For example, I think electric resists it, water resists it. I'm fairly certain there are going to be a few more that are missed now as well. I think fire resisted. Steel is offensively a very bad typing, which is great because steel is the best defensive typing in the game next to fairy. So yeah, like it's always kind of there to balance each other out. I think fairy is just generally more say the best type full stop because it's good offensively and defensively. But yeah, both together is making basically one of the strongest Pokemon possible. And that's something that you have to be aware of, and is something that you have to be prepared for as well, because you are going to encounter a lot of Tinkaton, and Tinkaton, here for example, the opponent is definitely prepared. Like, I have never seen that many fire type Pokemon in the Ultra League. But as you can see here, there's going to be now the Typhlosion from the opponent. I am going to be able to go for the Bulldoze in order to try to get that shield here, and I need to get to another Bulldoze in order to have a chance of winning this battle. As we're going to see, they have just the Thunder Punch spam here, and because they're going to get there so fast, they're going to be able to reach another one. I have, by the way, my shiny build. I had a better Tinkaton, but I was thinking, because I expect that Tinkaton is going to be one of the most common Pokemon in the Open Ultra League, I'd rather build one with high attack, so I'm order going to be able to win the CMP types. And I got a 15-15-14 shiny from a trade, and so I'm very happy about that. But here, we're going to be able to go for the Shadow Punch against the opponent's Fortress. We are trying to reach for another charge move. I could have maybe went for the Shadow Punch a bit earlier. It's very likely they're going to debuff me here, but they're going to debuff me with the defense actually, which is kind of interesting. But actually, I really like the Dusknoir matchup against the opponent's Fortress with a Volt Switch, but both actually are going to be fine, because it can time your fast moves really well with the Dusknoir. Here, they actually still survived, but they're gonna swap out into the Swampert here, which is really bad for us, as we only have our lead as a good answer, but because of the double debuff onto our defenses already, the Mud Shot really chunked away our health, and I wasn't too sure I would get to another move, and so I swap out into my Drapion, which is going to be able to still take one charge move from the opponent here. The Hydro Cannon comes through, but also because we're running the Orchid Tail instead of the Sludge Bomb, which more common in the Ultra League is currently the Sludge Bomb, we are going to be able to outspeed them here, but they swap out anyway into their final Pokemon, which is going to be Empoleon. But here, again, we're going to see the benefit of having Tinkaton. Of course, very lucky here, by the way. The Crunch got the 20% debuff chance here, which is really lucky for ourselves. But we're barely taking any damage from the opponent here, just because we have amazing bulk on this Pokemon. We get another debuff, which is going to allow our fast move, our Fairy Winds, to add up even faster, which might actually be more of a negative thing, because now we don't have as much energy on our Tinkaton. But I tried to catch the move onto the Fortress, it didn't work out, and Tinkaton just destroyed the entire opponent's team, even though it was geared to destroy Tinkaton. Like, you had the ground type, you had a steel type, and you had another steel type. They all were actually quite solid matchups against the Tinkaton, but Tinkaton didn't really care. Yeah, by the way, this is an unfortunate matchup. Why is it unfortunate? The reason for this is that, yeah, we are going to be not able to farm them down after this. By the way, if you feel like my audio sounds a bit different, I don't know if it's going to be better or worse. I assume maybe, I don't know. And also the background looks a little bit different. I changed to free programs. Before I had to pay like €400 a year in order to use like Adobe programs and stuff like this. I changed to free ones because like I'm not currently doing a lot of videos. It wouldn't be worth it at all to spend that money on it. I might change back again. Adobe tries to get me back with like a really cheap offer now as well, but I was like, I'm gonna try with those programs that I have currently that are for free. There might be some changes towards layout again in the background eventually as well if I have a bit more time, but that's gonna be somewhere in the future again. This channel is going to be a bit more calmer for at least half a year, most likely a little bit more, but we will never even come close to where I was before in terms of uploads. Don't get me wrong there. That will never be the case again. I am not doing YouTube as a full-time job ever again, so good old times, but those are going to be over. But again, I'm actually really enjoying now doing content again as a hobby, because like I can just talk stuff. I don't really need to care. Here Tinkaton, by the way, is going to be able to knock us out, and we're going to lose against other Tinkaton. Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like, I just do videos now because I enjoy doing videos. It's the only thing why I want to do this stuff. This is the only thing why you hear my voice right now. And that's the best thing of it. Like, I don't have any pressure onto me. I just need to, I want to do more videos because I want to do it for myself, but like, of course, for use. But I'm really enjoying it, and that's the thing that I just was missing for quite a while. Just the excitement of just, okay, I'm just gonna upload something, seeing how people react towards it. but like not really having to worry about like, okay, yeah, who's gonna the rent is due basically, as we have the joke coming up there as well multiple times. And yeah, I am really happy to be able to showcase Tinkaton here, getting overheated. Very well done from the opponent here, by the way. And this is the thing as well here, I always was honest though on my videos. I have to say that I was always honest towards Pokemon, if you think I was good, if you think I was bad. Here's the thing for Tinkaton. Tinkaton, I think it's an amazing Pokemon. I do think it's a fantastic Pokemon to run, and I do think it's really, really strong. The thing is here as well, I do think it's very easy to counter. And this is something that I feel like is going to make this Pokemon a liability in some cases, but in the full scale basically just balanced. And that's going to be something that is good for the meta, and I think it's something that is important to have, because we didn't have that all the time. But I do feel like the Tinkaton is one of the most balanced Pokemon currently, that is a very, very strong if you have it in the right positions. And that is just cool. Like, this Pokemon is top meta now. Like, it's absolutely top meta. It is a very good Pokemon, but again, I wouldn't say it's broken. And that's something that is good to know as well, because I don't really think Pokemon should be broken, should feel broken. I feel like Pokemon should be balanced, should be able to be countered if you want to counter it. And so now I rather would go ahead and try to run a team that counters Tinkaton, rather than go ahead and play Tinkaton, because I feel like it is easy to counter. A lot of people are playing it now because of the community day, and because a lot of people want to try it out. And yeah, I do think it's just a fun time. Like, I think it's a really good release. I think the move itself, the way it is perfect. And so I can't really say anything else there. So yeah, here we're going to see, by the way, the final two battles. We're going to have here, this was an unfortunate one. I still remember, we're going to have here the Drapion coming up against the opponent's Belly Bolt. We're going to be able to knock them out. In comes Tinkaton. We are going to have here, of course, Tinkaton against Tinkaton. I will let the move go. Here in the mirror matchup, it's always better to go for Gigaton Hammer. The Gigaton Hammer is going to two-shot, but they're going to have here in the back, sadly, the one Pokemon that I couldn't really deal with, which is going to be the opponent's Feraligatr. And this is exactly what I mean with, like, you are still easily able to counter this Pokemon, as long as you have a Pokemon that resists the, the steel type damage. That's all, because you don't have other damage. Like, yeah, you can run Play Rough and the Gigaton Hammer together. That was actually something I was thinking about, but decided not to do it. But it might be something I will do in the future, because I do think it would be an interesting thing there for sure. Here, we are going to be able to go ahead and go for the Bulldoze still. We got them kind of low, but we are not going to be able to win this battle, because again, if you resist the steel typing, you're actually going to be very good against the Tinkaton. So yeah, let's take a look here at the final battle. It was actually my favorite battle of them all, because I played it really, really well. I tried to catch the move here, didn't work out, but we see the Fortress coming in. And I'm getting quite a bit lucky here. Why, of course, you can guess already. We got the Crunch debuff here, and this changes quite a bit. But not only this, I kinda caught the opponent off guard by getting to another move that fast. They use a shield here, expecting that I would go for a Crunch. And I will let this first move go, expecting a Sand Tomb, but it's going to be the Rock Tomb, and I can go for another Crunch here. I think there might be even a CMP tie, is it? It is a CMP tie. They let the move go, and I was thinking, I have my Tinkaton. Tinkaton means that I would be able to destroy Guzzlord. And so, as long as I have alignment, I should be able to win this battle, right? And so we're going to be able to knock them out here. In comes Tinkaton. This, by the way, was one of the biggest weaknesses of my team here. The team was still fine. I think the team is cool. I think the team will especially work out in the future. But I didn't have the strongest answers against Tinkaton. Like, I didn't have weak answers either. Like, I have, like, still my lead, which is totally neutral. I have my own Tinkaton. And then I have my Seizo, which is a bit weak to Tinkaton, to be fair. But here, I was predicting the opponent would swap out into the Guzzlord. That works out beautifully. And now my shiny Tinkaton is going to be going up against their shiny Guzzlord. And we see here already, Tinkaton just completely eats this Pokemon. There's nothing that Guzzlord can do. They are locked perfectly into this matchup here, which is even more hilarious. I will go for a Bulldoze just in order to get a little bit more damage in, because I will be able to get more energy here now, because I know that the game, like, he's still locked in this matchup basically. Now they can swap out afterwards, but I have so much energy on my own Tinkaton, thanks to this amazing play, that I should be able to win this battle here. That's at least what I was thinking here, but I'm not too sure now at this point if this is actually true. Because, like, I need to play this quite well. I don't know, like, I assume a Gigaton Hammer is knocking me out here. Let's see. It is not. And so we win this battle quite easily here. And that's going to be it for this video. Again, if you enjoy this video, and if you want to still support the channel, feel free to leave a like, subscribe to this channel. Again, there's going to be phases where I'm going to be able to upload a little bit more, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.